Welcome to Udine, welcome to our event, Human and Non-Human Resources. We say that technologies enables new ways of work, and so thank you for sharing with us your views on the latest development of this technology.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this wonderful city. It's never a punishment to come to Italy, as you know. By the way, my title was not right. I'm the super coach of Plantronics in Europe and Africa. But indeed, I've worked for 35 years in the technology sector, as you will see in the book that you have handed out. And it's just absolutely unbelievable how technology has changed the way we work. Most of us as managers have now the opportunity, with the right technology, to work anytime and any place. And it means that we have a new opportunity to hand freedom, a new degree of freedom, to our associates to decide where and when they want to work. The problem is that it's not easy to get to that level. I've had the pleasure of working with the Politecnico in Milano with Professor Mariano Corso, and he asked me time and time again to sponsor research in technology, and I said that's not the problem in Italy, not just in Italy, but in the world. The problem is with management culture and leadership. Let me be precise. Number one, I think the cocktail that I see of management at this moment is a combination of medieval sovereignty, it's entrepreneurial despotism, it's over-engineered, over-specialized industrial micromanagement, and a military command and control. And that's what I was taught in university. That's what you guys also got, guys and girls, in your education. Now the world has changed. The world is one where it's democratic, it's egalitarian. And therefore the most important job for a manager is to create economic value add. And the key philosophy beyond that I've seen in many companies is a meritocracy. A meritocracy where the person that produces results based on competency, skills, and the right behaviors gets the honey and the results. And that's not easy to engineer that kind of change. So what we're basically saying is it's a new leadership philosophy, and that's where it starts.
Yeah, but an innovative culture should be based on trust.
Yes.
That's a point.
Trust is absolutely, if you look at the Greek temple, trust is the foundation that the pillars can be built on. In Italy, I have a new analogy where the technology is the Ferrari, then the trust is the fuel. And if you don't have trust as fuel, the Ferrari is not going to win the Formula One of Monza, right? So, but trust is, people don't understand what trust is about. Trust is something that you have to give from the beginning. It's unconditional. It is not there by a certain grade. You cannot give to somebody half trust. You have to give it to begin with. So when I recruit employees, I conclude in between the associate and myself that we believe that we can do something good together. Yeah? And therefore, there is 100% trust that I get from the employee and that I give to him. So it's not conditional. The power is in being able to take the trust back, because every day you have to show to each other that you are deserving again for the next day the 100% trust. And it's grounded in a set of behaviors. It's well described in the book by Stephen Covey called The Speed of Trust. And it starts with 13 behaviors. I'll summarize quickly. Number one has to do with clarity of goals and the expectations that you have. It's a true nonsense in business to create ambiguity. And a lot of managers have fun to create ambiguity. Number two, it's about producing results and continuously improving on these results. It's in an atmosphere of respect, listening, and wanting to do better. Now, I can go on with a few more, but these are the kind of things that managers need to learn. So what we're saying is that micromanagement is totally out of date. It's, as we just heard from Tatiana, it's a philosophy of coaching. In fact, I'm currently reading a book that advises to managers to do nothing. because the engineering educated managers have a tendency to overlook and suggest how people are doing those things. You have to stop doing it. You have to coach and create a culture of trust to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we are talking about the trust and the results.
Yes.
Okay, and talking about results, we should also mention that the overall corporate result today, increased productivity should be pursued by enhancing cooperation between persons working in different ways. So how can employee well-being and communication technologies contribute together?
Yes. Well, I would like to concentrate just for a moment on virtual collaboration. Mm-hmm. As people now have the opportunity to work in different places, virtual collaboration becomes very important. If you're not with each other, you cannot see if somebody is there to be working with you. So you need a new technology called unified collaboration, where the first thing is that you need to have on your computer, because that's what we do if we work together, you need to have a list or a directory of the people and an indication to what extent they are available. Green means I am online and I am ready to communicate, or I want to talk to you. Once you have that, then you have a new automatic gearbox of 5 communication modalities. The first modality is email or instant messaging, where you can verify if somebody is available for a real-time discussion. After that, you use all kinds of phones. It could be soft phones, hard phones, mobile phones, it doesn't matter. Once you have done that on a one-on-one basis, then you can promote group audio communications or group video communications in telepresence. These are, by the way, what I've just described is Skype. Yeah? Skype has been available for us as consumers for 12 years. Yet only 1 out of 5 companies, on average in Europe, is using unified communications, and the technology has been available for years. I don't understand what IT managers are doing, stopping the promotion of that technology. They should be fired. Number 2, if you go into the world of virtual collaboration, you will do more and more conference calls. Can I have a raise of hands how many people like conference calls? I'm not going to raise my hand. 1 person likes conference calls. That's a form of sadomasochism, yeah? No, what we're saying is that we think that in this world of know-how work, that the solution to every problem is to have a meeting. And this is called meningitis. You understand what meningitis is. That's a problem with your brain. The next problem that we have is meningitis. There is a total lack of discipline and skill and training for people to meet each other virtually. There's a lack of discipline of timing, of getting in the meeting at the right time. There's a lack of objectives. There's a lack of coaching. There's a lack of technology. So there is ways of doing it. I do not have the time to talk about it, but it's very important that we embrace virtual collaboration, have the right tools, but that we create ways for people to be engaged. Because at this moment, in virtual collaboration, there's only 1 out of 4 people which are paying attention. You can try this in your company. You have 25 people on a conference call in your management team, and you ask somebody if he is in agreement that this service in Italy is a great service. 1 out of 2 chances the person will say, I'm sorry, there was a problem with Telecom Italia. I couldn't hear your question. Can you repeat it? No, no, no. No problem with Telecom Italia. You were not paying attention. You are wasting your time and the time of all of your colleagues. Stop this nonsense, right? So what we're saying is, this is hard. People need to be trained for that.
Okay, again, on employee well-being,
yes.
We should note that advanced and carefully structured architecture does not automatically guarantee well-being. People should be inserted into a framework that helps them express their potential. That's what you think about this.
Yeah, well, so I think we already agree, I hope, that there is a new leadership style that is required and coaching managers. So let's assume that that's the basis. Then the next thing we need to do is to do the basics. In this world, we need to give people the technology to do the job. So yes, they need, all of them, a smartphone and a tablet and a lightweight notebook, right? That's number 1. Number 2, they need access everywhere to mobile broadband without wasting 15 minutes to get on a Wi-Fi network. Then they need security and reliability. Yeah? All these things are a right. This is exactly what the new generation of young people will be demanding. What do you mean? I have all of these things myself coming out of university, and you're not going to give me these basic tools. At least you should have a buy your own device philosophy or policy that I can use these things. But then it goes further. When I come into your business, I find out that you have not arranged your office to work productively. Well, we have seen that the #1 problem in businesses is noise. We have more and more landscape offices where people are chatting with each other, and the older you get, the more problems you have to deal with that noise. From the age of 45, you think that those landscape offices are hell because your brain cannot separate sound streams. That's the reason why old people are fighting against losing their office, because they want to have tranquility to do their job. So modern offices have acoustic zoning as follows. You have places to concentrate, top priority, places to collaborate, to contemplate, as in not work but be inspired, and also to communicate, because more and more of us have to work over the phone with other people, and therefore we need to be very energetic and loud. And if we're loud for those customer service and sales jobs, then we're upsetting the marketing and the finance people who want to concentrate and do their spreadsheet or PowerPoint. So, but the other thing is also ergonomics. Yeah, I mean, it's not by laying in your sofa that you can do good work. I mean, my son is 30 years old, he's a head taller than me, and he's in multimedia and software engineering. He has problems with headaches because he's sitting 3 hours in a row behind a 27-inch screen, and he doesn't realize that we need to move. In fact, I'm sorry for you guys, because you've all been sitting down all the time. The #1 disease for human beings is sitting. Yeah? In fact, we're giving the bad example here. I'm going to stand up in a minute. Yeah. No, sitting is killing us all. We need to move more. What I've heard several times is that we should welcome the death of the desk, because going in the morning to an office like a zombie and to plonk yourself down behind a chair and work is not what we should be doing. So ergonomics is a big, big thing to focus on.
Another point, companies should also be attractive. So can collaborative working models increase corporate attractiveness in your point of view?
Absolutely. So I had the pleasure over the last 4 years in implementing smarter working in our company. And it's magic. When I say to my employees, you can choose where and when you want to work, they have enormous respect. If you are a mother or a father and you feel that at 4 o'clock you want to pick up your children from school, coach them a bit, prepare a quality food meal, in Italy that should not be a problem, then it's magic. You are so happy that you are respected as an adult, and at 8 o'clock in the evening there's nothing good on the television. We agreed yesterday evening. The notebooks go open, you can concentrate on your job, and you're so grateful for your boss that you actually start to work too much, because you want to prove that he was right in giving you that kind of trust. So when I look at my company and my people at night, because I do that sometimes, it's like a Christmas tree. I have all these lights on green, and people ask me questions, and sometimes I say, hey, you got to go to bed now because you're going to be fit tomorrow. So what we're saying is that it's magic. I have at this very moment a discretionary engagement level of 86 percentile. Yeah? My absenteeism has gone down from 12 to 2% in the space of 28 months. My recruitment costs are down. Yeah? I have 55% less space that I need in the period of 7 years. All these things are hard benefits on the P&L. Less costs for the offices, less absenteeism. I don't want to challenge you. I know that in Europe the absenteeism is 7%. We saved more than, on average you can save 60%. That's 4% of your payroll. You know in HR where that cost line is. So that's the price that you get. It works. So when we are interviewing people and they come to our office and they say, oh, I mean, you're joking. I mean, I can choose where I work. I now get people that want to come and work for less. They are happy to accept a discount to come and work for us in the business, because they feel it's a modern work style. So our attraction with the employees and our retention is very high.
Back to the concept on trust and responsibility, they go together. Do you think that the call for responsibility concerns all the working positions?
So with trust comes accountability, and many have already talked about this together. For me, trust and accountability is the yin and the yang. And we have, with our HR team, come up with a LISA checklist, and it stands for Location Independency Suitability Analysis. We do this for the work. So if you are an engineer working in an acoustic lab, you cannot take it home. So you have to do that work in the office, yeah? But we also do it for the employee. And we look if the employee is competent and well-trained, has the right behaviors. We look if he is a self-starter and a self-sufficient worker. And if he has all of these characteristics, then we agree, typically after 6 months in the job, that it's the right time to try this new world of smarter working. But we've now identified lately that these skills are not sufficient. There needs to be a level of behavior in 3 categories. We call it the ABC. ABC of attunement, which is the capability to understand what your colleague of your customer needs. Yeah? There is the B of buoyancy, and buoyancy means if you're thrown in the water, that you can go with the waves and survive in a whole world where you are rejected many times. And then there is the clarity, the capacity to be able to distill what other people want. So those are the 3 behaviors. And in terms of activity, we are teaching our people to be very good at pitching, at communicating. Yeah? Because in this world, elevator pitches don't work anymore. You need to tweet to be effective. But also they need to make sure that they can improvise. Yeah? Because no matter how good prepared you are for things, you need to be able to improvise. But last but not least, people need a serving attitude. In the end, we are all doing jobs to give value to somebody else. If you don't have the foundational attitude of wanting to serve other people, you cannot do that. Now, I've just said a lot, right? That requires immense training and cultural reconditioning for the managers to show that, but also for the employees to learn that over time.
Of course. Can you tell us some case history of companies that have successfully redesigned their working models?
Yep. Well,
except Plantronics.
Well, exactly. Well, we're actually quite proud of it, and I heard a moment ago that we were talking about blue-collar work. We are very proud of our manufacturing plant in Tijuana. Yeah, we have 4,000 people there, and I've been there many times, and for me it's a source of inspiration for continuous improvement. Let's get down. Of course, many technology companies which have all the ingredients are at the forefront. So not surprisingly, the Microsofts, the Vodafones, the British Telecoms, AT&T are doing it. Same thing goes in the country. There is also a lot of work being done in government institutions. Give you an example, in the UK, local governments, I live in the UK, but also the Department of Agriculture, Food and Environment is an example. But in Italy, there's also more and more examples. I'm very encouraged by what I see, for instance, in nearby Bologna with Tetra Pak. I have a partner with me in Brunello, not the Montalcino, but the one nearby the lakes, where I have a company called Elmec. And actually listening here today to a lot of speakers, I'm actually very encouraged to see that the basic seeds are already being planted. So I'm actually quite optimistic that the ingredients are there.
Good. So you have 2 minutes more, so you can
well, actually, what I have not talked about.
Pay attention. If you walk, you don't see the speaker clock, but I tell you when.
Yeah, sure. No, I think one of the things that I have learned for my business is the importance of acoustic intelligence. You are familiar with emotional intelligence, physical intelligence, spiritual intelligence. If you are not working together with each other, then the body cannot talk. Human beings speak largely with their bodies. 55% is you with your super high definition eyes looking to my face and my hands and wondering, is this a person I would like to work with? Yeah? The content of what I say is less than 10%, and the tone of my voice is 38%. That's when you are face to face, which is the richest form of human communication. In the world of virtual collaboration, the body cannot talk, at which point in time the content automatically has double the effectiveness, so there's goodness in working virtual. But the tone of voice becomes almost 60% of what you do. And most of us have never been taught how to speak. How many of you had a course in diction? Diction class? 1 person. It's normally 1 out of 100. 2. Okay, good. So diction class is critically important, where you need to understand the voice, the vocal cords are the second most used muscle in your daily work. Your heart works all the time, otherwise you're dead, right? Your vocal cords is the number 1. So are we going to the gym in the morning to exercise our voice? Do we realize that if we are standing up, we have 40% more air in our airbags and we can talk louder and longer? Because the 4 strings of human voice is that you talk loud, and if you think that you're thinking too loud, you're just loud enough. Number two, you have to vary the tonality of your voice, and you Italians are fantastic at singing. It's unbelievable, yeah? Then you have the pace. If I talk very fast, you pay attention. If I talk slowly, I dramatize. But the most important thing in virtual work is to shut up. Because if you don't pause, exactly, and I have to shut up now, exactly. In any case, acoustic intelligence is a very important element that you need to teach your people. If they don't understand the power of their voice, they will have no impact, and they will not get anywhere in their careers and their business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vanhoutte, for